You're listening to the Seniors Rock Show on WHAM 1180, and we have the pleasure of having a wonderful guest today. Her name is Barbara Rubell. She is a keynote speaker, and she's been sharing a lot of wonderful tips for us on how we can be positive and mindful and hopeful as we close this year and look forward to 2021. So I guess as the year comes to an end, Barbara, how can we make meaning out of some of these losses we've had?
Yeah, we have experienced so many losses. I'm a thanatologist, which is a specialist in death, dying, and bereavement. But I recognize that we have experienced so many non-death related losses, just like we spoke about being out of work. That's a major loss. Not being able to see your girlfriend and going out for brunch. That's a major loss. There are so many losses in our life. And researchers created this meaning in loss codebook. And I've adapted that for those who are just going through life with non-death related losses. So think about how you have made meaning out of your loss. So you could say, since COVID-19, I value life and I don't take life for granted. Or because of COVID-19 losses, I live to the fullest. I'm taking advantage of time I have. Personal growth. I have greater strength now. So you see, you work on your own meaning making. You might say life is short. There are no guarantees in life. So you recognize because of COVID the significance of impermanence or how your lifestyle has changed. Maybe you drink less. I think a lot of people, as we shared before, family bonds is how they found meaning. My family means more to me now than ever. Mm-hmm. Other ways you might say, I value relationships. I appreciate the social support, even if it's through Zoom and FaceTime and Skype or compassion even.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. We said, even if you're on a meeting, it's a business meeting, it doesn't have to be impersonal just because you're on a screen. And I found that interesting because I did, notice that when people get on these business meetings, they want to go right into business. But it's okay to be human and ask them how they're doing and ask them, how business is and that kind of thing and get to know them even, ask them about their grandkids, whatever. Put a human touch on these things.
Yes, yes. And even today, I started this program by saying, I'm a grandma.
That's right.
And this is not about, being the best grandma on the planet. I'm going to try my best to do that. But we have to recognize that we're all in this together.
That's right. It was an instant connection. It was an instant because I'm a Nana and, I'm sure that everybody that was listening felt the same thing, that you're a human, you're a person, and you're celebrating the birth of this baby.
Yes. And I think also what we recognize is we're all in this together. Mm-hmm. We're all coping. So we might be making meaning by saying, I'm dealing with it, and you're dealing with it, and this other person is dealing with it in the best way we can. But I think the best way to make meaning is to have a greater perspective, to say, I'm not upset by the small stuff or little things. I'm alive. Thank God I'm alive.
And that's a big thing to be thankful for. And I'm wondering now, I'm very fortunate to have a family around me and to have people to talk to. I'm wondering and I'm worrying about, especially some of our older folks, if they're isolating. We've got New Year's Eve coming up. How would you suggest they celebrate? I mean, there's things that we can do even alone to celebrate, and I wonder if you could touch on that.
Yeah, we could, I love to eat. So first thing I would say is schedule a time to eat a meal together virtually. Sit in front of your computer for Zoom or on your FaceTime on the phone, but have a meal together. You might all be eating a different meal and be jealous that someone has sushi and you only have tuna fish, but eat together virtually. Or host a virtual ugly holiday sweater contest. So you stand in front of the computer wearing this ugly sweater and have a contest, and then you'll get the giggles, which is always good. What I love also is maybe schedule a time to meet virtually to open up your gifts together. Everyone's having, these little tiny get-togethers because we can't have our big parties. But maybe you could schedule a time just to virtually open your gifts so people could see what you got. I love building gingerbread houses, so why not build a gingerbread house or decorate cookies or make a decoration with other people? And again, virtually, you could see what other people are doing.
I love that idea. That's fun.
Yeah. And you mentioned walking, right? So what about, driving around or walking around your community, looking at the decorations and holding up those decorations so other people, your friends and family, can see them as well.
How fun. And how about car caroling? We talked about that last week, too. That's a fun thing. There's so many things.
There's so many things.
And there you go.
Or throw a virtual dance party and watch your grandkids be silly.
My daughter's done a couple of those. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it beats kitchen dancing all the way.
I've done that.
Well, we all have to, and I think that's, I'll go to the next question, which was going to be, can we keep a sense of humor? And obviously we can, and that's important, right?
It's so important. A few weeks ago, I did a presentation, and I talk about, stand-up, comics, jokes, funny stories, and I mentioned slapstick, physical comedy, Three Stooges, and someone in the webinar on the chat bar said, Three Stooges, what's that?
Oh, boy.
Oh, my.
Oh, my God. I said, you know what? I'm done being a professional speaker. They don't even know who the Three Stooges are, okay?
It's funny. Oh, my God. I remember my father laughing, like you could hear him laughing through the whole house watching those shows.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, what tickles your funny bone? Is it stand-up? Is it slapstick? Sarcastic humor. I love sarcastic humor. Gallows humor. I do a lot of presentations for healthcare, mental health care, and gallows humor is big. That's like grim, misfortunate humor. I have to share with you observational humor, the ones that's not planned. That's me, because I'm walking on the stage to do a keynote. I fall on the steps going up to the podium, or my notes at the podium fall off the stage. I mean, you have to laugh at yourself. It is so important. I told nurses to go home. I thought I was telling them to go home and decompress, and I told them to go home and decompose. It was 1,000 school nurses back in 2005. It was humiliating, but I laughed so hard. So, like, even self-defeating humor, like poke fun at yourself, we have to find what makes us smile and go for it. That's the bottom line. It's about, being resilient, and that includes telling a joke or finding something funny or even laughing at yourself.
Absolutely. I laugh at myself all the time, and my husband laughs at me too usually, but it doesn't take much. And, I like to, we do this on the show. We try to be positive and have fun, and sometimes the subjects aren't really fun, but hey, like you said, you have to, use what you have and be thankful, and just be thankful for every day. And I'm really happy that you're here with us, and I'm thankful for that. So we're going to go to break here again in a minute, but we will be back with Barbara. So please stay with us, folks. And we're going to talk about going forward into 2021 and what we can look forward to there and what we can be thankful for. Mike, it's going to be a great year. What do you think?
I'm looking forward to it.